Hi guys, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. I am a consultant anesthesiologist. So today I am going to talk about the scope of pulmonary medicine and MD and DM and certain fellowships, what you can do after pulmonary medicine. I would like to talk about. While I was doing research about pulmonary medicine, what I realized is there are some pulmonologists in India who earn more than 20 lakhs and 25 lakhs per month. So that is the kind of growth that you can see if you join pulmonary medicine. I'm not telling everyone will reach, but there is a way to reach. I'm going to tell that in this particular video. So I think let's dive into the video. This pulmonary medicine was previously called as MD chest and tuberculosis. So previously, now it is called as pulmonary medicine. So pulmonary medicine is a 3-year program in India, and you can also do pulmonary medicine after doing general medicine as a DM program also. So both of them will be called pulmonologists, but there is a slight difference between both the degrees. I'll tell you. If you do pulmonary medicine, you will be an expert in dealing disorders in the lung. Okay. If you do DM pulmonary medicine after MD, then you would actually know in detail about all the systems, and then you will master pulmonology. So what happens is when a patient presents to you in the hospital, most of the pulmonary problems will be associated with other diseases also. So doing an MDDM would have an extra edge, but it will take a lot of extra time. If you want to settle quickly and if you want to deal it like an end branch, then go for MD pulmonary medicine and then go for fellowships, which I'll be showing in this particular video. Who should take up pulmonary medicine? So pulmonary medicine should be taken up by people who want to be people facing, people front, and if you want an OPD based practice, it is a superb branch, just like general medicine. The first and the best fellowship is the interventional pulmonology. Okay, so interventional pulmonology is where they deal with a lot of procedures, endobronchial ultrasounds. So, for example, tracheal stenosis is that they place stents. So, like that, it's a very exciting field and upcoming field, and most of the metros have very few people working in this area. So at present, whoever does this will have a lot of good scope. So that is why many pulmonologists are trying to get into interventional pulmonology. So you can practice MD pulmonology and you can also do interventional pulmonology if you do this. So certain places where you can do this interventional pulmonology fellowship, Amrita in India has the interventional pulmonology fellowship. Amrita, we all know it's a very good institute. Max Hospital also interventional pulmonology fellowships are there. So these fellowships are usually 1-year programs, and during the program you'll be exposed to all kinds of interventional pulmonologists. So this is a fellowship in Tata Memorial Hospital. This is 2-year fellowship in pulmonary oncology. So here what you deal is you deal with pulmonary problems during the cancer patients when they're undergoing chemotherapy and radiotherapy. If they get pulmonary problems, it's very tough to deal. So you'll be trained in those kind of complex pulmonary patients, and you start to diagnose and stage the lung cancers, and you'll be very well versed with the management of lung cancers. And there is so many things. I'll put all the links in the description of this particular video, or you join my WhatsApp group. I'll post all the links there. It'll be easy for me like that. Okay, this is one of the fellowship, and my personal favorite I'll show you now. So it is fellowship in sleep disorders. So now what is happening is in the world, a lot of sleep disorders are coming up. So people, the sleep quality has come down, and in some people due to obesity, they'll have obstructive sleep apnea and they'll have sleeping problems. They'll be on CPAP and BiPAP devices, and now the technology is improving that some electrical stimulations will be adjusted here. There are some ways pulmonologists actually monitor through some software programs how the person is sleeping by implanting some chips and everything in this. It's a very rapidly evolving field, the sleep medicine. So even sleep, you can see on the screen there is a Society for Indian Sleep Disorders. So you can actually do a fellowship with them. It's a 1-year program, and you'll be trained in polysomnography, and you'll also be trained in interpreting multiple sleep latency testings, and it's a very good program. So I would actually suggest do pulmonology and go into sleep medicine, which will have a very good future because many people suffer with sleep disorders. Okay, a good quality of sleep is very important for a successful day activity. Otherwise, people develop anxiety, stress disorders, and panickiness. And really, I would say Another, last but not the least, it is abroad. European Respiratory Societies that you can see on the screen. They have several fellowship programs with them. So you can see one is an endobronchial ultrasound which is coming up, and many pulmonologists are actually liking to do this endobronchial ultrasound to diagnose many diseases and treat the diseases. Okay, and you can also see, and in European Respiratory Society you can do a sleep fellowship, and you can also learn thoracic ultrasound. You can see how the training would be. They'll have a very structured training program. So this is how you can get trained, and you all know that if you're following my channel, that the abroad experience will always give an extra edge to you. Your soft skills and everything will develop, and so this is what I would expect you guys to do after your MD Pulmonology. So till now I covered what are the different fellowships you can do after MD Pulmonology and the scope of the MD Pulmonology. So where to do, MD or DNB? This is another dilemma you'll be having. So I discussed with certain pulmonologists before doing this video. What they're suggesting is better to go for a DNB in a big metro hospital if you get, because when you're doing DNB, you're directly involved, because most of the metro big corporate hospitals have their interventional pulmonology units, have their sleep medicines, and have their endobronchial ultrasounds set up already. So you don't have to go to some place to do a fellowship there. It is already there in the hospital. So it makes sense for you to do in a place like that, so that in your DNB itself you're exposed to everything. Later on you can choose which one to go, which direction to take. So that makes sense. That's what they told. So that is even I felt that's the best way than going with a conventional way of doing an MD in a small peripheral hospital or district hospital and then trying to go to some other country. It would be tough like that. So I would recommend you to go in this way, but you're free to choose whatever you want. And next is where to settle. Where to settle is a very tough question. It is primarily based on your personality. See, I would prefer to stay in cities, but the pulmonologists with whom I discussed, what they told is, it's always better to learn the skills better to finish the fellowships, learn the skills, work in a city for 4 to 5 years, sharpen your skills, and then go to a town where you belong and set up the world-class unit there. And so that you can attract all the patients. You can, most of the towns are surrounded by many villages, and you can actually serve a lot of people. You can become famous in a very short time. So in that way, you'll have a kind of satisfaction, and that you're doing a service to your place, and also you'll become successful in a very younger age. So in a city, what happens is you need to struggle, you need to climb the ladder, you need to face the competition. There will be a hierarchical system, there will be seniors in front of you. So many hurdles will be there. But in a town, those things won't be there. That is their opinion. But my personal suggestion would be, if you're doing all the fellowships and European Respiratory Society fellowships and all, you can start in a city. You'll grow slowly. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I always consider myself as being part of some kind of a training. Even now, I actually get trained in so many things. I read so many things. So what I feel is start in a city, and then slowly, over a period of time, you'll shine. So, and also what happens is, if you go and succeed in a very early age, what I observed is, you get into something called as a midlife crisis, or you see everything in life in a very younger age. That is also not very good. So what I feel is, you have to climb the ladder, face the competition, and face the struggle in life in cities, and then over a period of time you'll succeed. So that is about the pulmonary medicine. Let's discuss about the salaries. So what, based on the inquiry that I did, so another way is there. Critical care also you can enter after pulmonology. So you can do MD Pulmonology and go for IDCCM, IFCCM, and you're eligible for DM critical care. So all those things are there. That is another way. Many pulmonologists venture into critical care. But I spoke to a few pulmonologists. What they told is, it's better to go into these fellowships which I mentioned before than critical care, because critical care, you will compete with anesthesia, general medicine, pulmonology, and all these people. Rather than that, better to go into different directions you can take after pulmonology. So let's see what salaries actually pulmonologists get. See, salary is a very relative term. Immediately after finishing your MD, if you join in a corporate hospital, you might get between 1 to 1.5 lakh. But that is not our target. Our target is to excel. For that, if you go in the way which I told, then the salary depends upon the client patient base that you have. So, and then you'll have cuts in your procedures that you do and the OPD that you see. In that way, there is no ceiling. I told you in the beginning of the video, there are some pulmonologists who earn more than 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs in a month. So that is the level you can reach. But a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, dedication, and there are a lot of sacrifices in the way. And you have to update yourself constantly. And if you do, surely you can succeed. So that's about the money. And what are the problems with pulmonology? There is a gray zone in pulmonology. What happens is, so many of them, they actually don't know what a pulmonologist is. So if somebody is having cough or fever or something, they would go to general physicians, and in some smaller places they'll go to Ayurveda, homeopathy, and those doctors. So pulmonology is not a very defined branch. It's lying in the gray zone. So if somebody is having cough more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they should go to pulmonologist. So that kind of awareness will develop in future. Don't worry, it will develop, because people are reading a lot of medical stuff. ChatGPT, Google, and all these things will be in your favor. Don't worry. So they will be in your favor. They will push all the people with pulmonary diseases to you. So that is one problem the pulmonologists are facing at present. So other than that, I don't see any major problem in pulmonology. So that's it, guys. That's about pulmonology in my opinion. It's very positive and very dynamic, and it's I think you should take up. Okay, so that's all for today, and as usual, Dr. Dheeraj Masapu logging off. Roger that.